In this lesson, we're looking at identifying problems. In the previous lesson, we were looking at the SQ3R of step 1 and evaluating a particular text which described a company named Widget and its incentive compensation program. Towards the end of that, we summarized the text as is shown here. When you identify the problems, you really want to look at the key items that are being discussed, and hopefully your summary has that. Here's an example of what I've done here. I've highlighted the key ideas. Michael Kahn wishes to execute a program so as to motivate workers to exert their best efforts. It's a performance-based reward system. Mike Wong already has plans to spend the bonus, and thus he likes it, while others like Betty Wong and Mary Cho believe that money should be invested in general welfare policies like health insurance or daycare benefits. And senior executive Albert Lee thinks that the ICP cannot be fairly administered. We know, however, that the ICP has been implemented, and we have a system of a supervisor rating of employees' performance. So these are some key ideas that we find in the text. The next thing to do in identifying the problems is to take that and begin to organize it. And here I've done this. I've listed the potential problems, you can see here, the symptoms, surface and underlying solutions, and this really could almost be one category, because at this time we really don't know if something is a surface solution or simply an underlying solution. Under potential problems, we have where Michael Kahn believes that workers are not performing. We're not really giving any evidence of this. I write here, perhaps he sees workers not performing. That is, he observes them and he sees them not performing the what he thinks. Again, it's not given. So his solution, of course, is to motivate them through the ICP program. Mike Wong, he also believes that it's a problem. He feels that his contribution is not being recognized, so his symptom is really his own feeling, and it has more to do with recognition. And he thinks, in terms of a solution, that this will solve this problem. Now, Betty Huang, Mary Choi, and Albert Lee don't disagree that that's a problem, but they also imply that workers are not being valued. Again, no evidence is given of this. Solutions are given, though, about granting health insurance or daycare benefits, and these would help to value the employees. Now, Albert Lee, he again doesn't question that that's a problem, but what he says is that the ICPs themselves are problems, and he bases this from his experience, and his solution is to not use ICPs. Now, I can use this information then to begin to summarize these ideas. So number one, the first problem, and probably most significant, is introduced by Michael Kahn. He believes that workers need to be motivated, thus assuming that the workers are not working up to a standard. Unfortunately, no evidence or symptom is given to support this belief. It is also not clear if the use of ICPs is a surface or an underlying solution. The next problem, lack of recognition. The implication from Mike Wong is that management has not recognized workers' performance. He agrees that the solution to implement the ICPs will solve the problem. Lack of value. A third problem, which is implied in the text, is that employees themselves are not being valued. This viewpoint claims that a value will be demonstrated by having the company provide certain social benefits such as health care for individuals and daycare for families. And then finally, the ICPs simply don't work. The final problem is related to the first, citing experience as evidence. Albert Lee believes that ICPs do not work. Now, if I evaluate these list of problems, motivation could well be the pinnacle problem underlying each of the others. This is because recognition and value are logically elements of motivation. Unfortunately, the symptoms related to recognition and value is not so clear. For instance, Michael Kahn's conclusion that workers are not motivated may be based on faulty reasoning. And Betty Choi, who holds that the company is not valuing her, may be arriving late to work because she has to drive her daughter to school. Implementing an ICP may not solve this problem. Finally, the contention that ICPs don't work may well be true, but Given their lack of knowledge of this area, it is not reasonable to make this conclusion. Albert Lee may not be aware of examples where ICPs do work. From this analysis, it is clear that research needs to be done. A thorough understanding of ICPs needs to be examined. In addition, workplace motivation should be studied, especially in the areas of recognizing and valuing employees. Moreover, since data has been provided which covers the implementation of the ICPs, analysis here needs to be done, especially to determine whether or not the ICP has been fair. So this information, as we can see, summarizes and evaluates the various problems that are going on in the company. And this concludes this recording.